What's up, everybody? Welcome to a very classy intro of Cinema Royale this week.
Look, could they hear that? Could they hear me burp?
Yeah, because I can't mute it properly. So, because the way we do things here, folks, is we're running everything through Zoom.
A real show would have just started over, and then
yeah, that's what gives us our charm, I think. That's where our charm comes from.
Well, I'm Travis Hobson. That is John Nolan. We are the Punch Drunk Critics, and we're coming off. We just had our Super Bowl. It's the Oscars.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, were you? I mean, obviously nobody felt the same about the Oscars this year, I don't think, than any other year. But I just was not, feeling it this year at all. Like maybe it was because it was later in the year and my mind's already past the point where I'm worried about it, or maybe it was because it was so different. But I had no care.
This award season felt really, really long, and because it was, honestly.
Yeah.
But in terms of the show itself, I mean, I actually liked it. The kind of streamlined format of it, I kind of like that.
Yeah.
I thought
you said something on social media that you didn't really want them to go back to Dolby Theater.
Yeah, I don't want them to. I kind of like the way it's kind of smaller and intimate, and you got all the celebrities there in one room, and they're like side elbow to elbow, or at least at the same table, and they're just kind of, it feels like a gathering of peers.
Right.
And I kind of like that. I feel like that's kind of how it should be. Oscars I don't know, they just seem too big to me.
You don't like chorus lines and seat fillers all over the place?
I don't need all that in terms of the shows I'm watching. And now, to be fair, this is the first year in like a decade that I've had to watch it from home. I mean, normally I'm hosting the Oscar night party for the DC Film Society.
Yeah, that's right.
On the Cinema and Draft House. I've been doing that for like 10 years. So this is the first time in ages that I've had to just sit at home and actually just watch it and, tweet about it and stuff, where normally I'm like entertaining people.
Did you put on your fancy tux at least? I'm still here. I got to close this door. But did you put on your fancy tux at least, right?
No, man. I was on the couch butt naked. That's what I was doing. That's where I was. And no one could see me. And it was fun.
I would recommend everybody goes back and looks at Travis's Twitter feed from that night and just remember that when you're reading it.
Yeah, imagine I was naked. It'd be
butt naked Oscar tweeting. That's how we do it.
It'd be to your pleasure. Yes, you go ahead and you think about that. Yeah, but in terms of the show, I enjoyed it. I know most people didn't. The ratings for it were atrocious. It dropped like almost 60% or something in terms of ratings. Yeah. But what did you think about the awards that went out? Any surprises to you in any of this?
Not really. I mean, I think at this point, what I meant to look up before the show, but I didn't, is the Meryl Streep versus Frances McDormand win totals. Like, she's got to be close to the most wins of all time at this point, right?
This is her third, right? I think this is her third win.
Is that it?
Nomadland?
It seems like literally she's won every other year for the past 15 years.
Well, she's always a contender, just about. Yeah. If she does a movie, she's pretty much a contender, because it was just a couple of years ago that it was 3 billboards,
Yeah.
So, she's great, and I always say never count against her. She's kind of taken that mantle from Meryl Streep, whereas like anytime she was nominated, you couldn't bet against her.
Yeah.
Now it's Frances McDormand who's taking that title.
She's basically the female Daniel Day-Lewis at this point, and just only in terms of the fact that when Daniel Day-Lewis is nominated, you assume he's going to win. But yeah, I mean, I was kind of,
unless it's Phantom Thread.
What's that?
I said unless it's Phantom Thread.
I was kind of put on tilt a little bit about Riz Ahmed not winning for Best Actor, although you can never really argue with Anthony Hopkins. I think, and I was a little bit surprised that they didn't. I'm not saying it was undeserved if he would have won, but these shows, I'm surprised they didn't go for Chadwick Boseman on the win for Best Actor, just on the memoriam type win. I always thought that was. And I hate to shit on somebody's memory or awards, but I always thought that was part of the reason that Heath Ledger won for the Joker, because, and honestly at this point I can't remember who he was up against, so I could be just completely lying about that, but I just remember thinking that his death prior to the awards was part of the reason that they gave it to him. You know what I mean?
I mean, I don't know. Who knows what will motivate voters?
Hmm.
Who knows? I would say part of the reason Heath Ledger won is that not only that did he die so close to the release of that movie, but also the performance itself was a bit more iconic,
Yeah.
like instantly iconic. Whereas I would say, as good as Chadwick Boseman is in Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, and he is um, fantastic in that movie, it's not an instantly iconic performance.
Hmm.
So, um, yeah, I mean, there's a lot we can talk about in terms of why they did what they did. I just had a conversation with my friend Karen Peterson, who writes for We Live Entertainment. She used to be with Awards Daily and on the West Coast, and we were talking about this, and we were like, well, you got Steven Soderbergh overseeing this Oscars, and he was probably like, knowing him, he's the experimental filmmaker that he is, he's probably like, well, who says you have to do the best picture at the end of the movie, at the end of the show, and let's change it.
Yeah.
And they probably agreed, thinking that the award would go to Chadwick Boseman.
Hmm.
They don't know. The directors don't know. I don't think. Um, So they probably assumed it was going to go to Chadwick Boseman, which is why they placed it at the end. It's just a totally abnormal thing to do to change this one little bit of, um, I don't know what you'd call it, but it's something that they always. But there's a little bit of tradition. There's one bit of tradition
Right.
to have the best picture in the show. So it's a little odd. I'm assuming that they thought Chadwick Boseman was going to win. That was going to be a great way to end the night. Instead, they got the one who would have been the least exciting to win it because Anthony Hopkins is 83 years old, and he wasn't going to stay up until 5 in the morning to to accept his award. And they wouldn't let him do it over Zoom because there was no Zoom allowed for this show, so they wouldn't let him do it over Zoom either.
Yeah.
And he didn't want to fly to Scotland to be at one or London to be a part of the satellite, one of the satellite broadcasts. So he oh, so basically what you got was a black and white photo of Anthony Hopkins at the end of the show.
The biggest
But
fizzle
imagine
that you could
what it would have
possibly
been.
get.
But imagine what it would have been if they had just changed it around. If you had done, if you had kept it as Best Picture,
Hmm.
you would have had No Madland win at the end to close the night. You would have gotten Frances McDormand's "Howl to the Moon" that she gave at the end of that acceptance speech, which would have been a fantastic way to cap the show.
Yeah.
Or let's say someone else had won for Best Actor. How great would it have been to end the night not just on Chadwick Boseman? What if Riz Ahmed had won? That would have been
That's.
fantastic.
I would have loved to see that. I mean, just because I think that's
Or
who should have won.
right, or Stephen Ewan, he was in the nominated too for that, right?
Mm. Yep. Yep.
Stephen Ewan. I mean, or if he had won, literally almost anybody else would have been more exciting to win the award than the one they.
And not just that, but you have to assume that they thought exactly what you're thinking, that Chadwick Boseman was going to win, and it was going to be a very touching way to end the night. Because if the Oscars have had one problem over the last couple of years, one PR problem, it's diversity. And to close it out with your standard old white man winning the Best Actor award, it goes kind of against that. But that being said,
And the rest of the night was very culturally.
yeah, they did. You have No Bad Land winning for Best Picture. You have Chloe Zhao winning for Best Director. And unless I'm mistaken, she's the first.
Only second woman ever to win.
So only second woman, first Asian woman to win for Best Director. You have the Best Actor category was completely diverse. You had at least 3 or 4 different cultures and races portrayed. Then you have Daniel Kaluuya. I can never say his damn name. They're winning for Best Supporting Actor, which I can't argue with that one bit. I can't think of, except for maybe Lakeith Stanfield, but I still like Daniel Kaluuya better for that win.
Yeah. It was always going to be Kaluuya because Lakeith Stanfield's role in that movie is the lead, right? It's the lead role.
Yeah.
So he would have been in they would have campaigned him for the Best Actor category, except he wouldn't have gotten into the final 5, which is why they put both of them in the Best Supporting category.
Oh, is that? See, I always figured they have some kind of very strict rules that I still, to this point, after 12 years in this business, don't understand.
There are rules, but it wouldn't have affected this. The reason why it was that way is because they wanted to campaign. They wanted to put both in the campaign for Best Supporting because it increased their chances of winning.
Right.
So,
well, let me ask you about the Best Animated Feature. This is one that really kind of bugged me because Soul wins for best animated feature. Soul was fine. It wasn't top Pixar. It's not groundbreaking. You had just to go over some of the competition. You had Onward, which was one of the most touching father son kind of pictures of the year, honestly. And then you had Wolfwalkers, which is lauded by everybody that ever talks about it. An amazing piece of unique animation, a great story.
That's what I wanted. I wanted Wolfwalkers.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have picked Onward. In fact, when I saw Onward in there, I was like, God damn, I forgot that movie exists.
Yeah.
I don't feel the same way about that movie as you do, but I think I recall that conversation when we reviewed it months ago.
Yeah, I mean, I loved it, but I can go in with that Onward maybe shouldn't have won, but I mean, for Soul to be Wolfwalkers, is there? I don't understand that. These are the kind of things I don't get.
Honestly, a lot of people probably didn't even watch Wolfwalkers. I mean, this is the thing. Cartoon Saloon always gets nominated, and every time they put out a movie, Secret of Kells, Song of the Sea, and now this. They get nominated every time because the folks at Cartoon Saloon are brilliant. I put them right up there with Laika.
Studio Ghibli.
No, not Studio Ghibli. Not yet. They got a long way to go before they can be Studio Ghibli. But like Laika, they always put out amazing movies and they get nominated for stuff all the time. But they don't seem to get wins. They don't seem to win, and I think it's probably because people don't watch the movies. The voters don't watch the movies, but everybody's gonna watch a Pixar Disney movie.
Yep.
So they're gonna vote for it. Soul was the obvious winner. It was obviously going to win, but I wish they could have been a little bit bolder, a little bit, and give it to something else that deserved it. So, oh well.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, other than that, other winners, we had Yu Jung from Minari. She won Best Supporting Actress.
First Asian woman to win that award in 63 years.
Best Original Song, Fight for You. Best Actress, we talked about Frances McDormand. Let's see, what else did we have there? International Feature was Another Round.
Another Round, great movie. Who won Best Action Movie?
Best Action Movie?
Yeah. They didn't have that award.
I guess that would be Tenet for Best Visual Effects if you wanted to break it down. But no, Best Action Movie wasn't on the list. Obviously, that would go to Sonic the Hedgehog for last year.
Obviously. So, yeah, I mean, decent show. I'll be curious to see how things revert back to normal next year and see if they make any changes. If they take anything from this show that they incorporate into next year's show. I'll be very interested to see that.
Do you think they'll try to push back on any of the ground that streaming guys like Netflix have gained this year? Because basically they might have no choice.
I think it's too late, but I think they might try. But I think it's too late at this point.
Yeah.
Once you open the door's open.
Yeah, it's Pandora's box. And I don't even want to say Pandora's box because it implies
it's not like it's a bad thing.
Yeah.
It's not bad. It's just it is what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, so yeah. Oh well.
So that was the Oscars 2021. They are over, and now it is April 27th. We're officially done with award season for 2020, the year that we all kind of want to forget. But
I'm already hearing people talk about next year's awards, though. So I mean,
yeah. Well, I mean that's usually the case, right? Like it's really as soon as the Oscars are done, like a week goes by, maybe, and then you're already hearing stuff in January. Because in January you have this weird mix of films that are gonna be in the Oscars for the previous year that are just being released wide a little bit late, and then also movies that are releasing way early. And it's still something I never understand because you have these Oscar contending movies that release in January that could be the best movies of the year, but people are gonna forget about them by award season.
Yeah,
there's always a few of those every year.
Yeah, it always happens. So one movie that's probably going to be a contender next year for Best Picture is Mortal Kombat. I see you smiling already.
That's my line. I'm the one that says stupid stuff like
that.
Because
I'm right. I'm right. That that Mortal Kombat will probably be one of the 9 contenders for Best Picture.
Absolutely.
They'll probably re-release it in December so that you don't forget about it.
Yeah.
Who can ever forget about this clear Oscar frontrunner?
Story, performance, everything you can possibly need. Fatalities, most of the Best Picture winners this year didn't have any fatalities. And we have multiple fatalities in Mortal Kombat, which is amazing.
There's only one death in No Man's Land that I can remember, and there was nothing fatality about it.
Yeah, there's no heads falling off. There's no lizard women.
Nobody got sawed in half the way they did in Mortal Kombat.
I can't believe they did that. I was so psyched when I saw that. Of course, Travis is talking about Kung Lao's famous buzzsaw hat technique. One
thing I liked about this movie before you get going. One thing I liked about this movie compared to the other two that came out. I like that they did moves that you play in the game. Mm-hmm. That you like. There's a lot of them. It's not just that one. That was probably just the most obvious. Yeah. Well, Kano's Heart Punch too, but I like that they did moves that I recognize as stuff that I've done in the game. That I like. The Street Fighter movies were always one of them was good at doing that. Yeah, I thought that was cool.
Yeah, I mean, the only place that I saw they could have done that and they didn't, and I was pissed, is that they, spoiler alert, I guess. There's a face off at the end between Shang Tsung and Raiden, and I'm just sitting here waiting. I'm like, come on, hit him, and doing that whole like flying across, but he didn't. But yeah, I mean,
that's the image that's going to be frozen in.
I know. As soon as I started doing it, I was like, well, there it is. I hope it looked all right.
Yeah, so I'm just letting you know.
I appreciate it. So, I mean, yeah, but here's the thing that I don't understand. I liked Mortal Kombat. Let me get that out of the way. I liked it quite a bit, I think, and I to the point where it's one of those movies. After I watched it, I realized I liked it more and more. But you have a property that's got 20 plus years of mythology, good mythology, like deep lore associated with it, and you create a movie with a brand new main character. Now, Cole Young is that main character in Mortal Kombat. He's a past his prime, I guess you'd say, MMA fighter. And we find out that he is a descendant of Hanzo Hasashi, who is otherwise known as Scorpion. And, all the fighters have been marked for Mortal Kombat. And the biggest twist, I think, in the movie is that Mortal Kombat never actually happens. It's all pre-tournament. We don't get to the tournament.
Right.
So Shang Tsung's trying to...
Probably smart. The tournament is a hurdle for them.
Yeah.
The tournament is a problem for them in terms of like continuing the franchise because people have to die in it. Mm-hmm. And if you're going to have a long running franchise, are you going to have the tournament that kills off everybody in your movie?
Right. Yeah.
I think they'll probably hold off on the tournament as long as humanly possible. Like the tournament should be like the last movie in the franchise.
Right. Yeah. I mean, they've got enough characters in this stable that they could knock off a few every movie and not have a problem. But if you had told me before I watched this movie that yes, Scorpion features heavily in the marketing, but is only in a small portion of the movie, even smaller if it's the Scorpion you're looking for. B, there's no Johnny Cage. And C, the main character is someone we've never heard of. I would have told you it's going to be a disaster. But the movie was actually shockingly fun. It had some great martial arts action going on. I had a great time with it.
Yeah, no, it is fun. And I've seen a lot of people hating on it. Oh, that's fine. I don't care. I enjoyed it. The reason why you have a character like, what's his name again?
Cole Young.
The reason why you have a character like Cole Young, played by Louis Tan, the reason why you have him is because people who don't know anything about Mortal Kombat need an introductory character.
Right.
They need somebody who can be their eyes and ears in this world that they don't understand. So you need somebody who's coming from the outside in, and he's that character. So that's why you have somebody like him in there. I understood it. I was never upset by it. I know some of my Mortal Kombat diehard friends who were like really pissed that he had this character they didn't know, and they were really pissed that Johnny Cage isn't in the movie. And I was like, who fucking cares if Johnny Cage is in the movie? I don't care that Johnny Cage isn't in the movie because I know they plan on bringing him in the next one.
Right.
And there's a million other characters, a bunch of characters. That's somebody asked me about some obscure Mortal Kombat character that nobody ever used in the game. Is he in the movie? I was like, no. like, "It ain't no good then." I was like, "You're an idiot."
Was that Julian? That sounds like Julian. That sounds like a Julian thing.
It's not Julian. Julian did not like the movie though.
Yeah, figured.
But I enjoyed it. The plot of it was basic chosen one stuff for the most part, mixed with a little bit of uh, Jesus Christ, Karate Kid and um, Never Going Back and all those other types of
Right.
fucking movies. Where somebody has to overcome the odds and fight a bunch of enemies that he doesn't know or whatever who are superior to him.
The power was in them all along type
Yeah,
shit.
it's
Yeah.
basic stuff, man. And you know what? It works for Mortal Kombat if you do it right.
Mm-hmm.
It had a lot of freaking gore and violence, which is what you want if you're a Mortal Kombat fan. It had a lot of the moves from the games. I like the cast too. I like Macabre Brooks as Jax. I like Jessica McNamee as Sonya Blade. Thought she was fine as hell. Like that. I don't have a lot to complain about, honestly, in terms of that stuff. Is the dialogue great? Hell no. The dialogue's not great. Is the plot basic? Yeah, but it works. I mean, it's a fun movie. So
Yeah.
and I thought Hiroyuki Sanada as Scorpion was amazing, but
Yeah.
he wasn't nearly as good as Joe Taslim as Sub Zero, who was freaking awesome. And they have a great fight at the beginning of the movie. I know everybody's going to talk about that opening scene. It was fantastic, where they
Yeah, I mean,
fight.
that's the thing. If you don't care about more, if you're a martial arts fan, but you don't care about Mortal Kombat, you don't want to see the CG and the crappy dialogue, it's worth it just for the first 7 minutes. I mean, that the whole Hanzo Hasashi thing, which you can actually see online, so I guess I'm not really doing a plug for HBO Max. It's actually playing above us right now, as a matter of fact. But I mean, that whole thing just encapsulated what's always been the most compelling story about the Mortal Kombat franchise is this eternal battle between these two warring clans, the Lin Kuei and the Shura Ryu. I don't remember what Scorpion's is, but Scorpion and Sub-Zero locked in this mortal battle. This guy who has his family destroyed and murdered, and he gets killed himself. So thirsty for vengeance, he convinces the devil himself to give him demon powers and let him come back. I mean, it's powerful stuff, and they just I love that they actually brought some history into it. Like, one of the most interesting things I've always thought about was about ninjas and feudal war is that most of the Ninja Turtle weapons, we'll call them, all the weapons that you associate with ninja were actually originally garden tools that they had to adapt to learn to use because they weren't allowed to have weapons. And that ends up being the story behind Scorpion's famous what do you call it? I guess it's not a spear.
No, it's something else. Bad.
Yeah, his rope hook to get over here thing.
Right.
So I mean, I just had. I mean, Kano. I kind of hated the fact that
he was the best character.
Yeah, I hated the fact that I liked him with the good guys. For the time that he was there. That
was the guy who plays him, Josh Lawson. If you ever seen him, he was on that. God, I can't remember the name of that show. House of Cards, right? No, House of Lies.
Mm-hmm.
I think with Don Cheadle and Kristen Bell, and he's just dorky looking Australian dude.
Mm-hmm.
And he was the last person I thought would be able to pull off a fun Kano.
Yeah.
But he did. He's totally the Boomerang of that team. Of that.
Yeah, a Boomerang on coke, I'd say.
He's the Boomerang of this movie, and he's a lot of fun. So, yeah, I mean, I'm anxious to see what they do next. If the movie does well enough, it had a good opening box office. I think like 22 million. So it did pretty well opening week.
Yeah.
So we might actually get to see that Mortal Kombat sequel. There's already a lot of talk about who's going to play Johnny Cage.
I know who you want. You want to go Miz, don't you?
Honestly, The Miz, he's campaigning for it already. They even mentioned it on Raw last night.
Yeah.
The thing is, his entire persona is kind of Johnny Cage.
Yeah, I can't argue with the fact that it kind of fits.
Yeah, he's not a great actor, though. I mean, but then again, I don't know if Johnny Cage is.
I think that's part of the bit, is Johnny Cage isn't.
Yeah, so, I mean, he might be perfect for it, actually. And this would be the biggest movie of Miz's career. He's done a lot of movies. They're almost all Marine movies.
Marine 47, Return to Boot Camp, and all that.
But, and his character in wrestling is that he thinks he's this big A-list superstar, but I mean, there are actual A-list superstars that have come out of the WWE, like The Rock and John Cena, and Miz is nothing. Is none of those things.
Yeah.
Like he's the only one who's still humping it back there, wrestling his ass every week. Yeah, he's got reality shows and stuff, but he's not those guys. So he's like
yeah. I mean, I was all around. One of the things I was really surprised about was the reception. Not the reception, the hype going into it, because it's like, it's years and years and years since Mortal Kombat was even really a really hot video game property. Yeah, it sells a lot.
Spoken like someone who does not play enough.
I've been playing Mortal Kombat 11 like every week, but
the most recent Mortal Kombat was like one of the best selling video games in years. It is still
I
red
guess
hot.
what I mean is it
doesn't
have the pop culture impact it used to, back in the day. But still, I heard nothing but I can't wait to get home and see Mortal Kombat. I'm gonna watch Mortal Kombat, and people were still genuinely hyped for it. And I think that watching this is only going to make them, more ready for the next one. And 22 million in box office take when most theaters are still closed. That's pretty damn good.
Yeah, and it's on HBO Max too, so people wanted to get out and see it. So
yeah,
I actually wouldn't mind going back and seeing it again myself. I'm thinking about it, but I'm gonna go see Scott Pilgrim on Friday, so I'll figure that out.
Is it like a anniversary for Scott Pilgrim?
Yeah, it's being re-released in the theaters this Friday.
Please tell me it's not like the 15th anniversary or even the 10th.
It's the 10th anniversary.
Wow. Okay. Wow. There's always a reminder every day of just how old we are.
Yep.
So other than Mortal Kombat, which was...
This suit comes with expectations. Let's take the shield, Sam. I have bigger things to worry about.
This world is us.
You built me. I am Captain America. We can't lose this fight.
All episodes now streaming only on Disney+.
This suit comes with expectations. Let's take the shield, Sam. I have bigger things to worry about.
This world is us.
You built me. I am Captain America. We can't lose this fight.
All episodes now streaming only on Disney+.
This suit comes with expectations.
They're done. They're not going to talk about
Let's take the shield, Sam. I have bigger things to worry about.
This world is us.
You built me. I am Captain America. We can't lose this fight.
All episodes now streaming only on Disney+.
This suit comes with expectations. Let's take the shield, Sam. I have bigger things to worry about.
This world is us.
You built me. I am Captain America. We can't lose this fight.
All episodes now streaming only on Disney+.
This suit comes with expectations. Let's take the shield, Sam. I have bigger things to worry about.
This world is us.
You built me. I am Captain America. We can't lose this fight.
All episodes now streaming only on Disney+.
This suit comes with expectations. Let's take the shield, Sam. I have bigger things to worry about.
This world is us.
You built me. I am Captain America. We can't lose this fight.
All episodes now streaming only on Disney Plus.
This suit comes with expectations. Let's take the shield, Sam. I have bigger things to worry about.
Kind of popped up with that facial technology.
This world is us.
As soon as she popped up there,
You built me.
you just say to yourself, oh,
I am Captain America. We can't lose this fight.
All episodes now streaming only on Disney
it was
Plus.
just too obvious right then. Like,
This suit
even though
comes with expectations.
You didn't know.
Let's take the shield, Sam. I have bigger things to worry about.
Just like, why are you there? Like, you have no business being there. Like,
This
why
world
are you
is
here?
us.
So it's like she doesn't have the connection to
You built me.
Carly that
I am Captain America. We can't lose this fight.
All episodes now streaming only on Disney
Exactly.
Plus.
So you put your next for this.
This suit comes with expectations. Let's take the shield, Sam. I have bigger things to worry about.
This world is us.
You built me. I am Captain America.
Been there.
We can't lose this fight.
All episodes now streaming only on Disney Plus.
This suit
Some of the best.
comes with expectations. Let's take the shield, Sam. I have bigger things to worry about.
But every time he shows up, so he left his mark.
This world is us.
You built me. I am Captain America. We can't lose this fight.
All episodes now streaming only on Disney Plus.
This suit comes with expectations.
Yeah,
Let's take the shield, Sam. I have bigger things to worry about.
That was great.
This world is us.
You built me. I am Captain America.
I mean,
We can't lose this fight.
I thought
All episodes now streaming only on Disney Plus.
his fight being the capital.
This suit comes with expectations. Let's take the shield, Sam. I have bigger things to worry about.
This world is us.
You built me. I am Captain America. We can't lose this fight.
All episodes now streaming only on Disney Plus.
This suit comes with expectations. Let's take the shield, Sam. I have bigger things to worry about.
This world is us.
You built me. I am Captain America. We can't lose this fight.
All episodes now streaming only on Disney Plus.
This suit comes with expectations.
He's the only one that
Let's take the shield, Sam. I have bigger things to worry about.
I was never really compelled by the story. Because it's clearly not really.
This world is us.
You built me.
Fucking story didn't
I am Captain America.
goes back.
We can't lose this fight.
All episodes now streaming only on Disney Plus.
Honestly, probably comes from a friend.
This suit comes with expectations. Let's take the shield, Sam. I have bigger things to worry about.
This world is us.
You built me. I am Captain America. We can't lose this fight.
All episodes now streaming only on Disney Plus.
This suit comes with expectations. Let's take the shield, Sam. I have bigger things to worry about.
This world is us.
You built me. I am Captain America. We can't lose this fight.
All episodes now streaming only on Disney+.
This suit comes with expectations. Let's take the shield, Sam. I have bigger things to worry about.
This world is us.
You built me. I am Captain America. We can't lose this fight.
All episodes now streaming only on Disney+.
This suit comes with expectations. Let's take the shield, Sam. I have bigger things to worry about.
This world is us.
You built me. I am Captain America. We can't lose this fight.
All episodes now streaming only on Disney+.
This suit comes with expectations. Let's take the shield, Sam. I have bigger things to worry about.
I kind of feel like,
This world is us.
it's probably good intelligence.
You built me. I am Captain America. We can't lose this fight.
All episodes now streaming only on Disney+.
This suit comes with expectations. Let's take the shield, Sam. I have bigger things to worry about.
This world is us.
You built me. I am Captain America. We can't lose this fight.
All episodes now streaming only on Disney+.
This suit comes with expectations. Let's take the shield, Sam. I have bigger things to worry about.
Star Wars, like things that are in Star Wars, but they feel like they shouldn't be. Like they don't quite work. The Bad Batch is one of those things. Like as soon as when I was watching it, I was like, this joint is non-Star Wars. Like they don't feel like they should be there. Like really? So they had a whole bunch of clones. They had a group of clones with special abilities and powers, but no one's ever seen them before. You know, they're just kind of what were they doing during the entire Clone Wars? Oh, they were off somewhere else fighting somewhere away from the huge battles that we know happen. Oh, they didn't go to Geonosis or anything? Oh, that's weird. Yeah. I mean, there's all this stuff that you're like, yeah, this doesn't make a sense.
They weren't even trying to hunt down the Sith Lord that everybody knew was around. No, okay.
Right, it's like y'all were getting your ass kicked for a lot of that Clone Wars. Y'all didn't just drop these guys who seem like they never lose and got all these special abilities. That doesn't seem to make sense. Yeah, it's just a bad idea, and the show looks like shit to me. I hope it's going to be short-lived, like that last series they did, the one where they Resistance, which I tried to watch, and I couldn't get into it, which is hard for you to make a Star Wars show that I can't get into.
I've tried to watch it 3 times, and I haven't got past episode 2.
I can't get into it, man. It's just, I don't know. Every time I would watch it, I would like get to the next episode and be like, I don't remember anything that happened in the previous episode. Like I don't remember any of it. So it wasn't retaining with me. It just nobody was impressive in that show.
if the Bad Batch will serve a purpose, it's to prove exactly what you're saying, that there's non-Star Wars Star Wars. You can take something that has nothing to do with any of that, like The Mandalorian, and just has familiar looking characters, and maybe sprinkle 1 in, 2 in here and there, and it exists on a plane all of its own and wins on its own merits. And you can have something that is so merged into everything we know and love, but still miss completely. And it's when you're not respecting the core story. Like you said, who's going to believe that these guys were around just doing nothing the whole time while the wars were going on?
Yeah, it makes no sense.
Yeah.
No sense at all. Anyway.
So, what else you got going? Anything else that we want to touch on?
I can't remember. Was there anything else in the rundown that I can think of? I can't. I don't remember anything in particular.
No, not really. It was a kind of a slower week. We had the Oscars. Obviously, you can check out reviews right now for movies like The Mitchells vs. the Machines, which is a new streaming movie, and all the usual stuff. 4 Good Days, Mitchells vs. the Machine, We Broke Up, Mortal Kombat. Full review is there as well as a recap for Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
How excited are we for Loki?
I'm not as excited as I was for Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I know I'm going to say I'm not excited and then I'm going to love it just like I did WandaVision. I had zero buzz going on in my head for WandaVision, and then I was anxiously anticipating it every week when it came out. I'm sure Loki will be the same, if not more.
Exactly. I don't expect there's going to be a crappy one of these shows. Like, they're all going to be pretty good.
Yeah.
But there's a lot that's out, man. I was trying to think. I was like, man, there's too much stuff that's coming out to watch.
Oh, you know what? You know what I did want to talk about for a second? And I don't know if you ever watched. Did you watch Deadly Class when it came out?
No. I remember it, but I don't remember. I didn't watch it.
I feel like I failed the world in that I didn't, because I was sitting there, I was about to put something on Twitter or Facebook or whatever, and like talking about how good it was, and then I realized that it's already been canceled. And the reason it's already been canceled is because dinguses like me that waited to watch it until later, and now I'm watching it on Peacock, but it doesn't matter because it's already been canceled. It's so good.
Not only did you not watch it in time, but you didn't use your platform to promote it, and now
I know it's my fault.
Now it's gone, and it's all because of you.
I'll never learn.
I mean, that's just if we ever get a chance to talk to the producers of that show, I'm gonna be like, yeah, my friend John Nolan, he's the reason why you guys got canceled.
I did. I mean, hashtag it's my fault. That's what we'll say. But Deadly Class, if you want to watch it, it is on Peacock. It's really, really good though. I'm digging it. It's
they got that show that's out now called The Nevers on HBO. I'm kind of interested in.
We've got that on the queue. We were supposed to start watching it last week, and we didn't. Have you watched any of the episodes?
Not yet. Jupiter's Legacy comes out in like a week too. That's the Netflix show with like Josh Duhamel, the superhero show. Mm-hmm. Josh Duhamel, Leslie Bibb. That looks like it's going to be pretty good. It's based on another Mark Miller comic. Like everything seems to be based on Mark Miller stuff right now.
Netflix is in the middle of dropping out that Millerverse, aren't they? Didn't he sign that multi-trillion-dollar deal with them? Yep,
sure did.
Mm-hmm.
That comes out I think in a week or so, and I think we actually have something for it like on the site or at least that I'm supposed to put on the site for people to check out that show early. I've got to just talk myself into remembering that. This week we got coming up Mitchells versus the Machines. That actually comes out I think this week. But my review is already up for that. That's on Netflix. 4 Good Days with Mila Kunis and Glenn Close. She's not doing the butt in this one, but she is once again trying to save a daughter from drug addiction. So she's doing that again. That review is up early as well. And Without Remorse is this week. Michael B. Jordan, Tom Clancy.
On Amazon, right?
Yeah, on Amazon. That is this week as well. It's a really busy week, actually. I've got like 5 reviews to write. I'm not happy about it. Deliberately tried to plan so that I don't have more than 3 anymore. And I've apparently failed in that.
I thought I'd been trying to pick up some slack, but I guess you still have plenty to do.
It's not all your fault. It's part of it is me. Like I'll agree to something and I don't look at the date. Or I just plain don't remember the date. Like I get like May 7th, May 14th. Like I always get them mixed up, or I just don't know what I have in any particular week. But this is one of those weeks where I accepted too much. Mm-hmm. Like I wasn't going to turn down Without Remorse. I wasn't going to turn down. I probably could have turned down Mitchells vs. the Machines, even though it's amazing animation I don't usually do.
It's that amazing is not what I figured you would describe that with, even if it was good, but it's that good?
It's really good. It's
all
really
right.
And you gotta look at the people who are involved with it. I mean, it's Sony Pictures. I think Sony Pictures is like doing the best. Sony Pictures Animation is doing like the best stuff out there right now, American wise, like in America. Like their stuff to me is just better because it's different than anything Disney and Pixar have done.
Right.
So it's like Into the Spider-Verse that just feel different, you know?
Yeah.
and this as well. They just feel different than stuff that Disney and those people are doing. So yeah, this is a lot of fun. It's worth checking out.
Yeah, and then Shadow and Bone, which I know.
Oh, yeah, how is that show? I've heard people talking about it. I heard a lot of people like it.
I haven't watched it. Angela watched it. She loved it. I know Cortland watched it. Didn't she write something about it on the site? I want to say she did. I could be wrong. Maybe I saw her on social media. But Shadow and Bones out on Netflix. That's a big one. There's all kinds of stuff out. And Invincible, which I'm still trying to find time to watch. The more adult animated shows.
That's another
Robert
one.
Kirkman's. What's that?
It's another one I wanted to watch so bad.
Yeah. And it's on the list, but I'll get around to it once it's canceled.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah. So.
The good thing about this stuff is we don't have to watch them on time anymore. So
Exactly.
One
So
and I've started HBO's Mayor of Easttown with Kate Winslet. So I guess that's my show for right now. So I need to.
Well, and speaking of those shows, I put Rosario Dawson's new show. That I don't remember the name of now, that's on HBO, or at least I thought it was on HBO, but I put that down. It looked really good. I like anything Rosario does.
I know you do.
Rosario's awesome. She's super hot, and she's the girl next door at the same time, and all that stuff. What is it called? There it is. Not Dope Sick. That's not it. Briar Patch. Briar Patch is the show that she's doing.
That show was on last year.
It's not new this year?
No, that show was on USA last year.
Well, dude, I tried to review a Anthony Mackie movie that came out 3 years ago last week. So let's.
Briar Patch was on USA Network. That's where it debuted.
Maybe it's not that. Who knows what I'm talking about?
I'm sure that's probably it.
And maybe it is. Maybe it is, or maybe no. Is it Dope Sick?
I don't know. Is it?
No, it's not. I'm just an idiot. And on that note, we should probably wrap up for the day. So let's make sure you guys check out all the things we've just been talking about and more on the website, Excuse me, let me try that again. www.punchdrunkcritics.com. I went full Porky Pig there for a second.
It is Dope Sick, by the way.
It is? Okay, good. So Dope Sick is the one I want to see.
It's on Hulu.
On Twitter, the site is at PDC Movies. Travis is at Punchy Critic, and I am at PunchDrunkJohn. On Twitch, check out Travis's page at cinematic_enforcer. And as always, we're looking for any great writers out there. If you guys have any tips, any questions, anything for us at all, you can get a straight line to me and Travis, info@punchdrunkcritics.com. So that is the way to get a hold of us. Make sure you use it. Until next week, I'm John.
Wow, I'm Travis.
There you go. We're the Punch Drunk Critics, and we're out of here.
Thanks for checking out the show. If you like what we're laying down, please subscribe to our channel and click the bell to receive notifications for all of our latest stuff.